What's up, gamers? It's Above, back with another video, this time with a breakdown surrounding the massive buff to the longtime memed on, perennially useless, vaulted exotics, the Aeon series exotic gauntlets. I swear these were the only exotics that would drop with crack stats back during the Lake of Shadows double loot farm days. If you guys ever got a decent roll of them, definitely let me know down in the comments, because I'll tell you what, these are going to be nasty next season. In case you missed it, yesterday's Twab gave a full rundown on how the Aeon exotics are being reworked to finally become usable for the first time in 4 years. Not only are these buffs substantial, I think they'll make the Aeon gauntlets a staple in the GM playlist moving forward. Jumping right into the Twab, the Destiny dev team says, in redesigning the Aeon Cold exotic armor pieces, we wanted to lean hard into the idea that these are the exotics you and your fire team wear when you really want to work together as a team. I found this statement a little weird because you always kind of want to work together as a team, at least in the content that I play. Obviously, you guys know me as the GM guy. I love Grandmaster's hard content that pushes you to truly work together. There's not much of that in Destiny, so I think if the Aeon series can help accomplish that, that's really, really good news for the future of Destiny 2 and its endgame activities. With that in mind, we had 3 main goals for revamped mechanics. Create role-based mechanics that reward you for doing the things your role is supposed to be good at, so if you dive heavily into a specific role and you do it well, your team's going to be rewarded. Awesome. Create mechanics that reward other players on your fire team when you fulfill your role, and give your fire team incentive for each player to take on a different role. So basically, you get individual rewards when you perform well. If you dive deep into your role, your teammates get rewarded as well. And if your team works together and you each have your own individual roles that you perform well, you're going to be able to maximize the benefits of the Aeon series and really start clicking as a fire team. And I think that's an RPG element that Destiny has missed, and I'm really excited to see where they can take this with future armor sets in Destiny 2 as the endgame progresses in the future. Instead of having a single monolithic exotic perk to handle this, we opted to take a page out of the Armor 2.0 book and give the Aeon Cold exotics their own unique mod socket and mods. That's super cool, which are all unlocked as soon as you acquire the exotic. Great for accessibility, and each of which is tied to one of the different Aeon Cult roles. So there's 3 different roles essentially here. These mods are identical across the exotics for all 3 classes, so you can choose any role regardless of what class or subclass you're playing. I just want to start off by saying I am so happy they made this design decision. This could have been an easy misstep from Bungie, and the fact that they recognize that that could be a problem right now is fantastic. Imagine if Sect of Insight, which I think will be the best mod here, was only for warlocks. Aeons wouldn't be used on hunters or titans. That's just the reality. So the fact that you can use them on any subclass, any guardian class, I think is fantastic, and it opens up the sandbox in the PvE endgame significantly. Now let's dive into the 3 mods. So first up, you have Sect of Force. This is an Aeon Cult mod that allows you to specialize in punishing powerful combatants before they can harm your allies. I'm not sure how often that's true in GMs, but we'll go along with it. Rapid precision hits with a weapon temporarily increase your reload speed and weapon swap speed. So honestly, depending on how significant these gains are, this could be useful. Obviously, those are nice neutral game perks. When you stun a champion or defeat a mini boss or boss, your nearby fire team members gain a burst of grenade and melee energy. I think this is cool. However, I think a lot of the top subclasses have great synergy with this anyway. For example, Benevolent Dawn on a Well of Radiance. For example, if you melee something, you proc Benevolent Dawn when you empower. If you heal somebody with a rift or your overcharged grenade, you start getting energy for your other abilities back. So to me, I don't find this super useful. The same thing goes for Hunter, right? Like if you have your 6 Coyote Hunter running the bottom tree tether with Invis, when they smoke themselves, they get a lot of their ability energy back anyway on both their grenade. Their grenade recharges their smoke. Their dodge gives them back their smoke. So for me, this isn't the most useful mod. I can see where it can be good in certain scenarios, but for the most part, I think this is the weakest mod of the 3. And the last perk is Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Force role equipped. So basically, they either have Sect of Insight or Sect of Vigor equipped. They gain a burst of super energy. This will need to be significant, like probably a 1/4 of your super, for me to even consider using this. Otherwise, wise, this one falls short for me. I do think it's solid. Like, these are solid exotic perks. However, the other two are just significantly better in this situation. Moving on to the second of the three perks, Sect of Insight. This states that successive precision weapon takedowns, I assume final blows, have a chance to drop an orb of power for your allies. This sounds good. I'm just interested to see if this is like a direct 2-for-1 benefit, because obviously masterwork weapons already do this, right? When you get multi-kills with your masterwork weapon, as long as they're precision, you'll get 2-for-1 with this mod. So that's pretty cool. Seems like you could get significant super gains from that as long as you're hitting your shots. And then this is where Sect of Insight really stood out for me. On paper, this appears to be one of the most powerful mods we've ever had in Destiny, period. When you use a finisher on an elite, you generate special ammo for your fire team, and when you use a finisher on a boss or mini boss, which I assume they're referencing things like champions, you generate heavy ammo for your fire team, because you can't actually finish a boss, so I think that's just a mistype on their part. This means that you're freeing up 8 mod slots worth of energy on your class item to dive into more aggressive artifact mods that you can take into GMs and just run over enemies like we never have been able to before. Because right now, your ammo person is using 8 points to run both special finisher and spoils of war. If you're able to apply that to things like oppressive darkness, solar plexus, tyrant surge, and any future 5th column artifact slots that are going to be super powerful, now you can come up with some really cool builds that we've never been able to take advantage of before. So think about this one, right? Imagine running something like Berserker. You have your super, you get your super very quickly because you get all these precision weapon takedowns, and you're an ad clearing machine. So now you have your super, you get a bunch of kills with your super, now your weapon damage is increased. And if you're getting precision kills with your weapons more quickly now, you're generating more orbs faster, you're getting your super back again, and then it's just rinse repeat. And the cool thing about the ammo is it doesn't take super energy, so it's actually a 2-for-1 benefit. Not only does it save you 8 mod points on your class item, it also doesn't use your super. You have to be a little more targeted about what you're finishing and when, but I think we'll adjust to that, and this will be insanely strong. And then you also tie that to your allies with the final part of the perk, where nearby Aeon cult allies who do not have the Sect of Insight role equipped, but they do need to be wearing the Aeon Swift exotics, I do want to clarify, so they would need to be wearing vigor or force, also gain a bonus to weapon damage for a short time. So you as a fire team now become ad clearing machines. That's pretty damn cool. And you guys get ammo whenever you want it. Solves the ammo economy issues. Ammo is king in Grandmasters. Moving on to the third and final mod, Sect of Vigor. You specialize in keeping your allies in the fight. So the first perk is going to be gain class ability energy as your allies die. Gain full class ability energy when you resurrect an ally. So for me, in the PvE endgame, things like GMs, useless. I don't want to have to rely on my teammates dying or me getting a res to get my class ability back. You know, if that's the primary exotic perk, to me, I would rather play something offensive than defensive. And if you have to rely on someone going down, that's never really a good thing. So I personally think this would be very strong in an activity like Trials, where you're constantly getting reses. You gain full class ability energy on res. So, you know, sometimes that rift could save your life and win you the round in Trials. So I could see that being very useful in PvP in certain situations. The next part of the perk, when you cast your super, nearby allies gain an instant burst of healing. This can be useful. You know, when someone's calling for drop your well, or banner, and you know, and they're panicking because they're losing health quickly, this could save your life. So I definitely think that could be helpful. Is it helpful enough? I'm not sure. I feel like most people who run GMs are pretty structured about when they're going to pop their supers. They know how to manage ads most of the way through. There's usually just a couple trouble spots, right, where you really need your banner shield or your well. So most of the time, I feel like you're going to be pretty healthy when the supers are popped. So it might end up being a wasted perk as well. Sometimes it could save your life. Can definitely see it being useful in certain situations. But again, it seems pretty situational to me. And then the final perk, Aeon cult allies who do not have Sect of Vigor role equipped, which means you're wearing Aeons, but you either have Insight or Force equipped. They also gain an overshield on super pop. So that, again, is strong. Will save your life. Might help you survive a little longer in certain really bad situations, but it seems like a very defensive perk overall, and I'm going to be opting away from it. I think for me, the winner is Sect of Insight. It's what's going to rival that third spot in the Grandmaster rotation, right? You have these staples. You have a Phoenix Protocol Warlock. You have an Ursa Furiosa Banner Shield Titan. This basically has to unseed Assassin's Cowl or Six Coyote or Mask of Bakris, the third exotic for GMs where you don't need, you know, a second well. For example, like Exodus Crash, you probably won't use Aeons at all, right? Because you need to be popping a well and then a Banner Shield and then a well. That boss room is chaotic. So you're going to be using those supers to the best of your ability and trying to chain orbs as much as possible just to stay alive. But in GMs like Inverted Spire, Broodhold, Scarlet Keep, even one, you know, that's a little more paced out with the strategy from my guide on Glassway, you don't need a second well. You can use something like freezing, like Stasis or an Invis Hunter to make your life easier throughout the GM, and that's where I think the Aeons could come into play, right? You have your ammo, you're able to clear ads more quickly, and you're able to use more powerful artifact mods to help just general ad clear and killing majors much more efficient. So I think that's where they're going to shine. They're definitely going to be a meta pick, and I think they'll make their way into the common GM loadout for most teams. Anyways, that concludes my breakdown of the buff to the exotic Aeon gauntlets. I really think these are going to be dope next season. I can't wait to get my hands on them. I'll be sure to make a formal review once that does come out. If you guys enjoyed this style video where we just have more of a conversation about the PvE endgame, definitely let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!